home mortgage, definitely reach out to Rack. They'll help you out. And later I'll run it on the ticker tape. You can get in contact with them. With all that being said, Kate's been on the road and she went to Vegas and then she was in Massachusetts. She hadn't slowed down. She's just been rolling around the East Coast and the West Coast. So, hey, Kate, how are you doing? What's going on?
I'm so good, Vince. I'm glad to be back in the corner, ready to dish on some cool stuff. Because you know me, I always got a million things I want to talk about.
You're a globe sipping. So what you went up for 4th of July? How was 4th of July?
It was good. I actually was just working and traveling. For me, work is play and play is work. My life is the manifestation of both together. So I know people are like, Kate, you work all the time. I'm like, it ain't working if you love what you do. So I just love people. I've been reinvigorated by the joy of connection in real time. And it's been really, really, really good. You know, I spent so many years in the gym, Vince, competing. And I think I used that a little bit as a cover to kind of avoid the inevitable that I was supposed to stand in a bigger way. So that's why I want to talk about fear and being fearless, and you would know it. And I would say that this is the book right here, and it's highlighted the heck out of it. 50 Cent, 50th Law, 50 Cent and Robert Greene, as you said. And I really liked it. It actually made more sense to me now why you call this thing the corner. Because I was kind of confused. I'm like, okay, I'll go with the corner, but I don't know. Because, and this really goes to what I really wanted to talk about right up, was that, you know, every person that's hustling, every person that's an entrepreneur or business person, or a person that just is living a life of alignment, and you're fired up and you want more, you want your life to be different, you're in that growth mindset. You're a corner hustler. And now I get it. And it really took the story of 50 Cent and how he grew his career, understanding that his power had to start as being the corner hustler, and where he learned. But he had a vision. He had a vision for more for himself. And I really think that that's one of the components of what being fearless is all about.
Young man, and I'll abbreviate it real quick since we're on for a period of time here, is that this young man went in the military, and he was like 17, 18 years old, got to a unit. The unit was performing poorly. And he decided he was going to push the envelope, and he challenged the unit, you know, and it upset a lot of people in the unit because he was challenging them, and he was just brand new in the military. Mm-hmm. However, the reason and I'll get to the punchline, the reason he explained to them why he was challenging the unit was, he said, well, he used to do martial arts in Wisconsin, and he kept losing every time he got to the state finals. And so he asked this one instructor, he goes, I don't understand why I can't win this. And he goes, well, you're the best fighter here, but you're not the best technical fighter. Mm-hmm. So he said, you need to go home and work on your technical side, and then and combine it with your ferocity, and you'll win. So he did exactly what the guy said in the middle of the winter, trained hard like Rocky, came back, ended up winning the state. And then when he got to the unit, he told them, is you don't perform at practice and training like you need to do when you get to where you need to be, then you're not going to be able to execute when it counts. And so he actually, unit went down to the exercise. They actually ended up winning. At one point, the evaluators thought they were cheating because they were so good, and they actually weren't. They had just overtrained to the point where it became muscle memory. Yeah, wow. And so in his mind, you know, when you talk about being fearless, he had to be fearless to challenge people that had been in the Army 30 years, 20 years, 37 years. I mean, 20, you know, they had everybody was a senior to him, you know, and sadly, and this is the sad part of this, the reason I know the story, and I tell it when I speak in platforms all the time, was I was the last officer to give the flag to his parents when he passed away at a very young age due to a drunk driver. And there was a knife in the tree that he had said when he comes back from basic training, he was going to take his knife and then go to Ranger School, but that never happened. So the knife to this day sits in the tree in Wisconsin. But it reminds me always, it doesn't matter about your age, doesn't matter about your gender, it doesn't matter about a lot of things. It matters how you approach things. And sometimes you got to be fearless to take on the establishment to make a difference.
Yeah, that's so good. And it also highlights the fearlessness and his willingness to suffer. And I just would love to just read that quote that I found. It's so funny because I grew up with James Baldwin and Frederick Douglass. It just was part of the culture because I'm old. So I'm like reading this book and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is everything I grew up with. But the quote from Baldwin says, the endless struggle to achieve and reveal and confirm human identity, yet contains for all its horror something very beautiful. People who cannot suffer can never grow up, can never discover who they are. Bam.
Bam. But fear holds so many people back in our society. And then we're always talking about that, you know, and I think the thing is, we've gotten to a point where fear and being judged are they are bedfellows in so many ways, and you're worried about everybody judging you because you fail.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
That's a piece of it on the outside, right? But then it's also in the inside. It's people are uncomfortable on the edge. And I did a video. I was actually going to tag you yesterday because I was talking about why I weight train and what weight training taught me. And one of the words that we use in training is resistance. Like, it's resistance training. We're moving against resistance. It's common practice for you and I or anyone that's in the gym. So we're used to going to our edge by sets, by reps, perpetually, every time we're in the gym.
Exactly.
So it's like, right? So it's like this consistent. And so it's a conditioning of going to your edge. And I truly do believe that because I've been able to push through that over and over again, that has been my ticket to success. And that's not only business success, that's also personal success. That's even getting through some tragedy, because I knew that I was at my edge and I had to be fearless in the way, even how I dealt with grief.
No, but you know, you balance life, and we all do. And I mean, even during tragic times. But honestly, I think you get through it is because of your core. And I'm honestly say, if I didn't live in the gym, and I look at the amount of mental health issues that men have today, or just people in general, 90% of the problem is either, overweight, or you don't have anything to help you combat stress, which leads to a lot of fear. And tragically, we lose so many young people in the 21st century, we're losing so many people to suicide, just because I believe that if you're not really working out or getting outside or meditating or doing self-care, and when I say self-care, I mean something positive. A lot of people go on self-care because they smoke weed or they drink. That's not self-care. That's to some degree, that's a depressant. I mean, I'm talking about things that positively help you change your mindset. And that's when you talk about supreme boldness of being able to stand alone and being able to do those things and not get in the circles, because it's a struggle these days, because so many people don't have a tribe. I mean, and that's men and women both.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true. Supreme boldness. And that requires a certain level of assertiveness. And for women, unfortunately, when women are assertive, they're aggressive, right? So it's not super cool, like terminology for a woman, because I've been there. It's like, I actually am able to talk about something, but I'm like being aggressive. I'm like, what? What do you mean? But it's that sense of knowing that you're here for more. And I hear a lot about that anxiety. And when people come to me in coaching, it's very common. And yet people usually who come to coaching are in a better psychological state. It's like their anxiety may be getting in the way of success, but it's not disrupting and causing really epic mental health issues. It's more on low lying, and they want to go to another level. But what I say to those people is, you're going to have anxiety because you're out of alignment and you're not living in your purpose. Get real with yourself. You're BSing yourself. And they'll be like, whoa, I can't believe you said that. I'm like, I'm sorry. Your anxiety oftentimes is based on the fact that you're not taking action. When people say, yeah, I decided I'm going to write a book, or I decided I'm going to do this, I'm like, you haven't decided unless you've taken action. If you're just telling me you made it, right, but you're still sitting on your couch with Doritos on your belly, as Jocko said, he goes, if you're sitting there laying on the couch with Doritos on your belly, get up right now. And like, it was hysterical. I was like listening. I'm like, good thing I was on the recumbent bike. But, I really do think that's much of it, is that when you don't have a purpose and you don't have a mission and you don't have a vision and you're not moving and taking action, you're going to be miserable. I know I am. Dude, I just started getting back into the gym because I was slacking. All of a sudden I started getting fat. I'm like, this is not cute at all.
See, so but you're talking about facing negativity. I think if you look at social media or you look at commercials on TV, we have promoted over the last 25 years negative behavior as being positive.